Hey guys, in today's video I'll be talking about the tropics once again. This will be another tropical update, and we're now talking about, this is the busiest that the National Hurricane Center's tropical map for the Atlantic has looked all season. And so, we have Tropical Depression 15, Tropical Storm Nana, which actually just formed a few hours ago, officially at I believe it was the 11 a.m. advisory, was a potential tropical cyclone for probably like 3 hours maybe, and then it officially became named. It has sustained winds right now of 50 miles per hour. Pressure's down to 1,002 millibars as of the new 2 p.m. advisory. And it's moving directly west at 18 miles per hour. Now, all right. Now, if we look at the NHC's forecast cone, come on, please load, internet. Jesus Christ, this is slow. Ah, man. Why won't you load? What is wrong with you? All right, come on. Load. Load. Jesus Christ, this won't load. This is very, very depressing. Let's look at, let's just, I guess, go to a new window and look at it. See if that'll work. Alright, there we go. Guess the new window thing worked. Let's see, will it work? Will it actually load in? Will this load in? Will this actually load in? Please load in. Man, guys, this is really upsetting to me. For some reason, this won't load in. But, well, I guess I won't be able to show you the NHC's cone, but all I can tell you is that it does show the system becoming a hurricane, actually, right before landfall in Central America near Belize and the Yucatan and that area. So, that's very, very interesting. You know what? I'm going to use my phone's personal hotspot so I can actually load this shit. Alright, here we go. Okay. Here's the cone. Finally loaded. Alright, so as you can see, yeah, it's a tropical storm right now. Expected to maintain a tropical storm intensity, and then looks like a few hours right before landfall, it could become a hurricane and then make landfall in the Belize area into very southern parts of into some parts of Guatemala, and it technically could become a basin crosser actually. It really actually depends on how much it sustains itself really as it goes over the land towards the eastern Pacific basin. But that'll be interesting to see what would happen with that. There's Nana, and then Tropical Depression 15 is off the east coast. And 15 also actually is forecast to become a tropical storm pretty soon, actually, especially as we head into later today, it seems, into tomorrow. And then it'll start to degenerate back to a post-tropical depression and then into a post-tropical depression. That'll be interesting to see. It's not going to really affect any land areas, so it's kind of more of in a way, a fish storm. Maybe it brought some impacts to the Carolinas, but not that much. And then actually we have these two other areas, two other disturbances. This one probably won't become anything, honestly. It only has a 10% chance of formation over the next 2 days, and a 20% chance of formation within the next 5 days. The NHC says a small area of low pressure has formed about midway between the Windward Islands and West Africa. Upper level winds are marginally conducive for some slow development this week as the system meanders in the central tropical Atlantic Ocean. So again, I don't really think we shouldn't really expect this one to become anything at all, so I probably should just disregard that. And then this other wave that's about to come off Africa into the Atlantic, into the tropical Atlantic, this one's actually very interesting, something we actually should probably closely watch. It says a tropical wave is expected to emerge off the coast of Africa in about a day and merge with a disturbance centered about 200 miles southeast of the Cabo Verde Islands. Okay, interesting. And then in a couple of days, gradual development of the system is then possible, and this system could become a tropical depression by the weekend while it moves slowly westward over the eastern tropical Atlantic Ocean. It has a 50% chance of formation already within the next 5 days, 0% in the next 2 days, but that'll change, especially once it officially gets over the water. And then you can see this area's potential development area takes it far. It continues west and then enters the area where it will develop, and then it will start to curve more towards the north-northwest, and we'll see what it does. Of course, it's way too early to see if like the system, especially if this would come anywhere near land or towards the U.S. We'll really just have to watch that. I will be showing you the models and show you what the models are showing. So the models could show the system maybe coming towards the U.S., but it could also just show it out going out to sea. So this one will be pretty interesting to watch. We'll just have to see what'll happen with it. Let's go to tropical tidbits, and let's see, do they have Nana? Yes, they do have Nana. Here's the satellite imagery for Nana. Oh, we gotta let this load in. What's actually helpful on tropical tidbits now is, I don't know if any of you have noticed this yet, but when you go to satellite imagery and it's loading in, it shows the loading signal, and then it has the percentage of how much it's loaded. So that's the new thing. It shows the percentage of how much it's loaded in. So that's pretty helpful, just so you don't have to be like, when will it finally fully load? But here we go. It's fully loaded, and as you can see, the satellite imagery for Nano looks fine. It has some decent outflow, it seems, some decent spin, some good convection. By no means a very impressive tropical storm whatsoever. It's generally a weak to maybe slightly moderate tropical storm. It is expected to strengthen, so I guess we should expect for it to start to look maybe a bit better going forward into the next few days. But yeah, as of right now, it looks fine. It does look like a tropical storm, but I've seen better, as they say. Here's the hurricane model track guidance. You can see they all have very good agreement. It will continue west into the Central American areas of Belize, Guatemala, and then into the Eastern Pacific Basin. The GFS model also shows it going into Central America, so there's really generally pretty good agreement. The GEPS, this is the CMC ensemble track model guidance, and it's just all over the place. It generally does this, so it's not really something you should pay too much attention to. It's not all too important. This is very interesting. Of course, this is the intensity model guidance for Nana, and it shows all the models show it generally intensifying from this point forward and becoming a Category 1 hurricane. And then there's the ship model that for some reason is showing it getting to Cat 3 status. I don't know what that's doing, honestly. I only expect this to become generally just a very weak Category 1 hurricane and then make landfall and become history. So there's a look at Nana with the statistics on tropical tidbits for Nana. Could not talk for a second. And then here's the North Atlantic Ocean. We'll show you the GFS model and show you what the GFS model is showing for general tropical activity for the Atlantic Basin. You can see it doesn't show much for Nana as it heads towards Central America, but Nana becomes history, and then we start to look more towards the MDR, and the MDR, we gotta let this load in. This is a little while to load in, but you can see there. This is also, I think, probably another tropical wave. This is a tropical wave that looks to potentially become some kind of disturbance, maybe some kind of storm in a way. The GFS seems to be showing pretty quiet conditions, oddly, moving forward. Not sure what it's doing exactly. But yeah, that's very, very odd. But in any case, yeah, that's what the GFS is showing. Really not sure what that was showing. The European model will show you the vorticity for the European. There's Nana. It does show Nana having some decent vorticity as it finally becomes history and goes into the Central America. And then here's the next system. And the European model shows some decent vorticity for this system, and then there's this next system as well that shows it kind of falling apart. Oh, there's a very robust wave right there over Africa as we head towards September 11th, next Friday. That'll be interesting to see potentially come off Africa, see what that does. But you can see it shows very decent vorticity for that other system that I believe is the disturbance 2 that the NHC is monitoring currently. So that'll be interesting to watch because the European does show it getting pretty far across the Atlantic, getting towards the United States. So that could be definitely something that we should watch, especially as we head going into the rest of the week and into next week. Now let's look at the CMC model, and let's bring this back. Let's change this to MSLP and precip, so I can show you the precipitation. And alright, so, alright, here we go. The CMC doesn't really show much of anything for Nana because it's such a generally small system or whatever. And then CMC is very interesting with this second disturbance, shows it getting pretty wound up. Let's actually zoom this in so you guys can see what that looks like. 996 millibars, and then it starts to continue to, and then it starts to curve more towards the north-northwest, and kind of intensifies pretty far more forward, gets down to 980 millibars, but seems to be curving more towards out to sea than anything. And that might generally be due to this frontier of this larger storm and the high pressure kind of moving farther to the north and having it more room for it to curve out to sea. That's very interesting, so we'll have to watch and see what the models continue to show for that second disturbance especially, and what it could do, and whether or not it could potentially fully get across the Atlantic and potentially become a potential impact to the United States. Finally, I got that out. Alright, ocean analysis. The La Nina continues to form. As you can see, the 3.4 region is now dropping again, decreasing again. Right now it's at negative 0.622 degrees Celsius. Sorry, it's negative 0.622 degrees Celsius, not 662 degrees Celsius. But in any case, it's already within a La Nina stage. Because the Nina 3.4 region, for anyone who's watching this video and does not know, the 3.4 ENSO region is the part of the ENSO region that we look for to see what kind of ENSO phase we're in, whether we're in El Nino, neutral, La Nina. And alright, here's the Nino 3 region. It's also negative. It's at negative 1.019 degrees Celsius, so it's also decreasing as well, but also a lot colder as well. Nino 4 region is a good bit warmer, but it is decreasing as well. It's currently at negative 0.054 degrees Celsius, so it is on the decrease. We'll see if the Nino 4 region will finally be able to kind of try and maintain getting down to La Nina status, and we'll be finally in a La Nina officially. The Nino 1 plus 2 region is generally always been generally actually quite cold, and right now it's at negative 1.954 degrees Celsius. And it's also decreasing a bit, so, starting to get a bit colder. You can see here's the general look at what the ENSO is looking like right now, especially towards the central eastern part of the ENSO region. It's extremely cold, while more towards the central Pacific ENSO region, it's a bit more kind of cold and warm, kind of neutral. So, again, we're in a neutral ENSO phase. That's that's pretty self-explanatory there. Alright, here's the 2020 Atlantic Hurricane Season Wikipedia page, and we've had a total of 16 depressions, 14 total storms, 4 hurricanes, and 1 major hurricane. We've had 105 total fatalities, and the total damage of this hurricane season thus far in total has gone up quite a bit to somewhere above $14.66 billion in damage. And that is due to the fact that, Laura, that completely devastated the southwestern Louisiana area especially, caused somewhere around near $9 billion in damage. You can see right there, it says at or maybe above $8.9 billion in damage, so, right near that $9 billion mark. It's crazy. Laura killed nearly 60 people at 59 exactly. Marco didn't do much of anything, killed 1 person, caused minimal amounts of damage. Tropical Depression 15 currently says minimal amounts of damage. It will probably stay that way because, of course, it's going out to sea, so it didn't kill anyone either. Tropical Storm Nana, on the other hand, is forecast to go is impacting Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and then will, of course, impact Belize and Guatemala and the Central America region. So it most likely will cause a good amount of damage potentially and might kill some people. So that is something that will be something to watch out for. So, and also Nana became the record earliest 14th named storm of the hurricane season. As you can see right here, I gotta zoom in here. There we go. It says Tropical Storm Nana. It says, actually first it says a closed, so it was a potential tropical cyclone originally. As I said in the beginning of this video, at 8 a.m. it became an official potential tropical cyclone. stayed that way for about 3 hours, and then it officially became Tropical Storm Nana. And because it became Tropical Storm Nana an hour later, it made it the earliest 14th named storm on record in the Atlantic, surpassing Nate of 2005. So, once again, another 2005 record beaten in terms of record earliest named storms forming. Tropical Depression 15 doesn't look to be named, and if it were named, it would be Omar. But I mean, it might be named, but we'll see. Doesn't look terribly likely, but anything is possible because, hell, I mean, this hurricane season has thrown pretty much everything at us thus far and has been one hell of a season for a lot of people. But in any case, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I really hope you found it informative, helpful, and again, hopefully you found it enjoyable enough to consider liking the video, commenting, and if you're a first-time viewer and you enjoyed what you saw in this video, please consider subscribing. But in any case, consider subscribing anyway. It really helps my channel. Liking the videos also really helps my channel, so it gets out to a lot more people. So a lot more people will be aware of my channel and see what I do. And if you like, in any case, if you like especially tropical hurricane season related videos, I do a lot of that on my channel, so if you like that, consider subscribing. And that's it for today's video, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.